What's up, y'all? It's Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com. I am Cecil West, back again with the one and only
L. Jonathan Lippy.
And this is the question of the day. And my question today, John, I've asked a lot of things. I've asked your favorite Bone album. I've asked your favorite Bone songs. I've asked your favorite solo songs. I've asked your favorite merch. I've asked your favorite all kinds of shit. But today I gotta know, what is your favorite Bone Thugs song? Hold on. That doesn't have Krayzie Bone on it.
Oh, Krayzie Bone. How could you have a Bone song without Krayzie Bone? Well, I guess that kind of like reduces it to two albums. And well, I'm gonna go with 100 carats in my hood, 12 million bitches on my mind. 100K from World War III. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go with this from the same album, The Deep End. I love the way Busy comes in on that when he's like smoking weed again, a lot more singing with the West Side, with the Puerto Ricans to the bridge walking, trying to shake this blood with a heart beating. Two witnesses just died for fucking with my mind. I wish Busy had all three verses on that, but it's a mix between Deep End and 100K, and I think I'm going with 100K.
I've said it a lot that it's disappointing that that album wasn't completed in the fashion that I know DJ Unique had initially aimed for, because I feel like that's some of the best Busy Moan material that exists, and that album's kind of buried, and rightfully so, because we've talked about it a lot. It was supposed to come out, it didn't come out, and then somehow Flesh and Bone got DJ Unique back on it, and they finished the songs, but they didn't really finish it. And I didn't feel like we got the best of Flesh and Bone in any way on that album. But we got top notch Busy Bone. Top notch. Not disappointing. Even like when he remixed and flipped the NWA Bitch is a Bitch thing, even though like the beat and that concept was played out, like Busy Bone's like verses were incredible. It was some of the best Busy Bone that we've heard. So if you guys need a reason to just like re-dive into the Art of War, World War III, it's top notch Busy Bone. I I love that song a lot. I'm pretty close to saying that is my favorite that doesn't have him, but it's not just because it's only the Busy Bone part, and then it's Flesh, and I don't love the Flesh verse, and that's it. It's just Busy and Flesh, and Busy destroys it and really outshines Flesh on it. So with that being said, I think what I'm gonna have to go with, it would have been, if we never got the Krayzie Bone video remix, it would have been Change the World.
Oh yeah,
because that song's great. Even I obviously love the Krayzie Bone version a million times more. Like Krayzie Bone was built for that song. Thank goodness that he ended up on that song.
yeah.
But even the version without him, I'm like, this is a great fucking song. So I'm not gonna pick that one just because we ended up with a version with him on it. But I still love the version without him. If I didn't know that the other one existed, I would still really like that song. Same album though, and I'm gonna pick "Come Murder One, Come Murder One, Come Murder One, Murder Them All."
Hard to believe Krayzie's not on that one though, with that kind of a name. But yeah.
Dude, he would have torn that motherfucker up. I also
Yeah.
really love Soldiers Marching from that one,
Yep.
but Murder One is that is my favorite one that doesn't have Krayzie Bone on there. I love the beat. The beat is real exciting. It had that Bone feel, and a lot of the times, like, I felt like Krayzie set the tone for the Bone Thugs feeling. So it was really cool on Resurrection to be able to see, Busy and Lazy and just Bone and even Flesh, put together Bone songs without Krayzie. And I'm not saying Krayzie is the only one that can do it, but we know he's the hit maker. We know he's the the guy that does a lot of the hooks. So Resurrection was so impressive because we had things like Murder One and Change the World that didn't have him on there, and they meaning the rest of the group set the fucking tone. So it would have been Change the World, but we ended up with Krayzie Bone on there, so I'll let that one go, and I'm picking Murder One.
Murder One. Can you imagine if Krayzie was on, had full effort on Resurrection?
Oh my
Like how
goodness.
differently we'd feel about that album at this point.
You know, it's weird because you gotta. It's kind of weird to me just because it's like I almost like it in a way, because if we would have had full Krayzie Bone, would we have had those songs? You know, would they have
Right.
been like that? You know what I mean? Because we probably would have got. I remember going in the studio with my group, and you know, we had a member that was the Krayzie Bone. He was the one that just dropped the hooks. You know, he dropped the hooks. But once in a while, I would drop the hook, and I dropped the hooks to some of our biggest songs, but I was so used to letting him drop the hook because he was able to do it so easy and so fluidly, like Krayzie Bone. He just heard it and dropped it. But if he would have been there during Resurrection, would we have got Soldiers Marching, Murder One? Fuck, would we have got Change the World? Change the World is a great hook, and he's not on it. So if we would have had it, I don't know if we would have seen the press from the rest of Bone to make those great songs. Does that make sense?
Wow.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, that you almost sold me on the idea. I'm almost sold on it. Yeah.
I
That's
would
a
have much rather had him. I mean, I'm not trying to like pitch that. I'm glad that he wasn't. I would have rather had him on every song. I'm just glad that we can see that Bone. I'm not gonna say doesn't need him. I'm just saying that like they can also make the Bone Thug sound without him. Proven on Resurrection. Like they made, like you just said, I can't believe that he's not on Murder One. He's not. It's DJ Unique and the
yeah.
rest of the boys, and they fucking serve it.
And just trivia speaking, because I don't think there's enough material for us to do a question of the day on what's the best Bone song that doesn't have Krayzie or Busy on it.
Oh my goodness.
And there's only one that I could even think of off the top of my head, and that's
War.
War. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that song actually
Some
is
people don't
from the
like that.
golden era.
I love that song. Some people
It-
really don't like it. I know it's from like the Small Soldiers soundtrack. I know I think some people may not like the Henry Rollins shit either, but like I'm a Henry Rollins fan.
oh yeah.
I like that it had Henry Rollins on it. It had Tom Morello on it. It had Flea on it. And if you're only a hip hop, fan, then you may not understand, just like the level of what you just heard. But I mean, I just named three legends: Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot fucking Chili Peppers. Like I mean, these are legendary people that Bone was on. I was always surprised that at least Krayzie Bone at that time wasn't on that song. Like I was like, why? How the fuck is Krayzie Bone not on this song?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that was at the time when I think they were both doing their solos, and it was just amusing to me to see them come with. That's actually the first. Well, no, I guess on the albums you had songs with just Crazy, Lazy, Busy, but that I was gonna say that might have been the first group effort that was just three members, outside of because there was no Strength and Loyalty hadn't happened yet, so the actual and War came out before Resurrection, if I remember correctly. So the first trio was Wish, Lazy, and Flesh. Can you imagine that? And then Resurrection had oh man, I never thought about this. On Resurrection, the tracks without Krayzie, is Wish on those tracks? Is it like Han Solo and Chewbacca? Like is Wish on any tracks without Krayzie? Just off the top of your head, because I
I
don't
can't
I
think
don't
off the top of my head, but I know that the run goes that Busy Bones on all the songs, Lazy Bones on all of them except for One Night Stand. Okay. Flesh and
Mhm.
Bone is on 14 of the 16. Okay. Um, Krayzie Bone is only on 9, and Wishbone makes the smallest appearance with only eight tracks. So I don't
Wow.
know if Wish is on any. I don't think Wish is on any that Crazy's not, not on. But maybe. I mean, I can't think off the top of my head. Just to answer your question too, Resurrection dropped in 2000. Small Soldiers, the soundtrack was released in July of 1998. So this is around Mo Thugs. So like you said, it could have just been that they were both working on solo records at that time. It was recorded in 97, 98. What's wild is, we know that Bone loves to be on a soundtrack. Who doesn't? A soundtrack helps, push you. But, when you're picked as the single, Look Into My Eyes, whatever, it's a big deal. And that was the single. They picked War as a single. And, for that movie, if you guys haven't seen the movie, it's a corny little kids movie about toy soldiers that come alive and rage war. It's a great single for it. And do you think, I don't really hear Busy Bone on that song on War, but you can absolutely hear Krayzie Bone having a verse on that song.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe Busy talking about some kind of battle cry or
You
something
can,
like
but I
that.
mean, it
Yeah.
seems like Krayzie Bone's a no-brainer, whereas it's like, okay, I can understand no Busy, but no Krayzie Bone, especially with a fucking video.
Yeah, and I like the clean version. This is one of those instances where I like the clean version better than the dirty version.
Is
And
there a dirty version? I don't even know if there is one.
yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
there's just
it's
words.
on the collection. They released it on the collection. I think up until the collection there wasn't a dirty version because this was for a kids movie.
Right, right. Funny, arguably the highest grossing film of all the soundtracks they did songs for was probably Toy Soldiers. Just in lieu of the fact that it's a kids film.
Yeah.
Now, did I ever send you, I don't have it anymore, but did you ever see that little pickup football highlight film I did, and War was the song that I
Yeah.
did our highlights over?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. So I mean, just let you know that I was feeling War, like it had to be used in the right context. And when you put it over sports, it's actually a pretty cool song. It's just not cool if you're going into it as Bone, like straight Bone. But if you do have like a more variety of a musical taste, understanding the power of Henry Rollins and his band, along with the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine, it's like, damn, Bone's on with some real legends here, some real rock and roll legends. And Rollins is just rocking. He's just a cool freaking dude altogether. He
Cool
went to
dude.
North Korea recently too.
Yeah, he's a
So
cool dude. He's a cool dude. That's a good song. Guys, we started with what is your favorite Bone Thug song that doesn't have Krayzie Bone on it? John picked 100K. I picked Murder One. We want to know what you guys picked. And as a bonus, if there's any other songs that do not have Krayzie and Busy on it together, just Flesh, Wish, and Lazy, we want you to drop that in the comments below as well. So make sure you guys do that. Don't forget, hit share on this. Help us out. Share this with another Bone fan so we can get their input as well. And me and John will catch you guys on the next one.
Beyond the harmony for the fans, we celebrate. Uploading new videos every Thursday, so join